What's up, folks? I forget I usually do this. I do this. Different seasons. We all heard that Stand By Me was based on a Stephen King book. But there is no book called Stand By Me. And I gotta tell you, I didn't know Shawshank Redemption, the movie, was based off Stephen King. Until they did a Family Guy version of it. Kind of didn't. I was gonna write some notes, but I didn't, cause I got up early to go eat pancakes, and the cafe that has these gluten-free pancakes doesn't open till 8, and the gym doesn't open till 8 on Saturdays. I thought that cafe would open early, but they're not. So now I have like 20 minutes to burn. So why not make a video where I talk about different seasons by Stephen King. First things first, it's a collection of 4 novellas, novellas, 3 of which were made into movies. I didn't know. This was a big surprise. I knew that The Body was in there. Yeah, it was called Stand By Me. Why, I don't know, but The Body is the short story based off, is what the short story that Stand By Me is based off. Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. That is what Shawshank Redemption is based off of. Apt Pupil. When I read that, when I started reading it, I was like, this looks familiar. I never saw the movie, but I remember the movie poster. Looked it up. Sure as shit. I just want you to know that I don't know if I'll ever write a collection of short stories where a collection of 4 short stories where 3 of them are made into movies. 1 book, 3 movies. This guy. So I haven't seen Apt Pupil. Now I want to. With Brad Renfro. Chad. Whatever. What? I gotta say that this guy's writing is brilliant. Like, it just flows so smoothly. Sometimes more than others. Sometimes it flows better than others. The last story is about a club where a bunch of old guys collect and sit around and have drinks, and each of them tell stories. And the last story was him telling that story, and I flew through it because it just, there was no hiccups, no bumps, no need to like, what did he say? It just flowed so good, so well. This guy can tell a story, and I've only read Misery and this, and I haven't gotten into his really horror stories or classics. What would be known as classic Stephen King. I haven't gotten into that. These are by far, like I said, I've only read Misery, which I think these stories are told better than Misery. And it's maybe because they're not really, they're a different genre. You know, he's a horror writer. The other thing is that, so let's take 2 of the movies. Let's take Stand By Me, the 2 that I saw, and Shawshank Redemption. I've seen them several times. Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption, here's what's funny, is you got it narrated by Morgan Freeman, one of the best narrators, most distinct voices that you'd ever hear. I mean, easy to recognize. The joke is that his character was Irish. And in the movie, I think he says something like, because I'm Irish, and it's a joke. But in the book, he says that same line, but he really is Irish. So we have Morgan Freeman's voice doing the narration in Shawshank Redemption. Stand By Me, we had Richard Dreyfuss' voice, which is another very distinct voice you can recognize. Well, I can. Both Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, also known as The Body. I've watched several times. I have the narration, the voice in my head. But when I read these stories, the voice I heard in my head was Stephen King's. Stephen King's voice. And that made this book like a fun ride. Like it was like it was like the jungle ride, the old jungle ride at Disneyland, where there was a guy and everybody, okay, watch out, yeah, and he took his pistol out and he shot at the hippopotamus, and he narrated. He said, "This is look at this rock over here, and the hippos will not. A sign that the hippos are going to attack is when their ears start to worry. So people, you don't have to worry about that. About whoa, wait a minute, and then the hippo's ears start to flutter. What did I say? The hippo's ears start to flutter, and he's got to speed the boat up. That's what it was like reading these books, knowing what Stephen King's voice sounds like. And knowing that when he wrote his book On Writing, which is a little memoir, right? And he wrote On Writing, he narrates the audiobook. I've listened to it 3 times. It's fantastic. And the way he was talking, I'm like, man, this guy can really tell a story. That's how he writes. That's how he writes. So when I'm reading this book, I'm hearing his voice and his voice inflections and just how he'll say stuff like cock-a-doodle brats. He doesn't say that in this, but he says that in On Writing, and he's mimicking Annie I forget, from Misery. I think this guy's brilliant, and I think he deserves everything he's got. If you listen to On Writing, you'll know that he busted his ass. He wrote every day, and him and his wife struggled for so many years before they saw a dime. I mean, he wrote for years before he really saw a dime. I don't know, a couple $100 here and there, and man. Anyways, so my recommendation is to pick up different seasons. It's 4 novellas. They're all good. Obviously, The Body was good, and Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption was good. It gives you a way to look at the characters. You kind of know what's coming, but it's different reading the book. I've read so many books after already seeing the movie here in the past year or so, year and a half maybe, and they're still good. They're still good. You can still say that the book is better even if it's the second version that you've come across. Having seen the movie helps with characters as far as visualization go. Like you can see, except for Jack Reacher novels. But reading the body, I saw, uh, River Phoenix. I saw Will Wheaton. I saw Corey Feldman, and I saw. I wanted to look up his name yesterday because I forgot. Jerry O'Connell. I remembered. Jerry O'Connell. Um, and you think about Jerry O'Connell did a great job capturing the character of what was his name? Vern. Vern Tessio. Uh, in that movie, I had to ride my bike to the movie theater to watch that one. Lived in Torrance, California at the time. Anyways, that's it. Different seasons of Stephen King. I recommend it. I totally recommend it. If you want to get a different sense of what his writing capabilities are, um, instead of instead of his horror stories, you can get a little taste, especially if you saw the movies. All right, that's it. I think I covered everything. What time is it? I need to get in this gym, not to work out, to shower. Okay, folks. That's it. Bye.